Sledgehammer Games just revealed a bunch of updates coming to Modern Warfare 3 very soon, including the confirmation of Shipment returning. They talk about Lobbies finally disbanding, classic weapons returning. They mentioned DLC maps, a lot of crazy updates. We're going to go through all of it in today's video. But first up here, a quick shout out to U4GM. Be sure to check them out for help getting MW3 Mastery camos, rare unlocks, and much more. They have a safe and legit service to help you get the camos fast and easily. They have cheap COD points, rare unlock codes, and much more. Use code MATT for an extra 5% off checkout. Links are down below. But first up here, let's start off with Season 1 content. They say we're going to have 6 2v2 maps, of course, gunfight, in rotation for Season 1, including 4 carry forward maps from MW2, which are already available, a brand new map, Training Facility, which is in Season 1's launch, and Shipment is returning as well. So to run through, if you guys missed the Season 1 video I made, 6v6 maps at launch will be Meat, which looks pretty cool, and Grease as well. And for Season 1 Reloaded, we're going to have Rio as our final 6v6 map. Now, Training Facility is a new gunfight map. The rest of the gunfight maps will most likely be previous ones, maybe from MW19, maybe from Vanguard as well, maybe from smaller parts of the Warzone map. We'll see very soon. And of course, Shipment is returning here, and based on the leaks, we know it's the MW2 version of the map, which isn't a big deal overall, but as I've said in previous videos, it's definitely not my favorite iteration of the map. I would much rather play on MW19's Shipment. Even, you know, World War II's Shipment was really cool. Obviously, we would prefer a completely new Shipment, a new scenery, a new area, but the MW2 version looks like it's returning there. Overall, it's just great for grinding your camos, leveling your weapons up. I guess the look doesn't really matter that much right now. They don't say it's going to be available at Season 1's launch, which is pretty interesting. Now, they don't say it's going to be for the Reloaded update, but I feel like they would have mentioned here, oh, at launch, we're getting Shipment as well. And for previous games like MW2 last year, we got Shipment at launch. So I'm wondering if we're going to get that for the Reloaded update, maybe later on. We'll see, hopefully sooner than later. Let me know down below, again, your opinions on that. And before we go through some more stuff here, I want to give a shout out to MASH for winning the Apex Gaming $250 giveaway for Name Your PC Day, which was yesterday. So if you're watching this video, please DM me on Discord or Twitter. Let me know where you are. Comment down below as well. Let me get into contact with you so we can get you the gift card there. Really do appreciate it. Again, be sure to check out Apex Gaming PCs for customizable PCs. Great for Call of Duty. Making videos as well. Links are down below as always. Really appreciate Apex Gaming PCs. So we're doing this giveaway just for you guys. But next here, let's go through this question from someone. Will y'all add the Spaz 12? The OG Spaz 12, I'm assuming. And Sledgehammer says there are multiple classic weapons from the Modern Warfare series that we're looking to add in future seasonal updates, including shotguns and sniper rifles. So I think the Spaz 12, they don't confirm it here, but that could definitely return. Of course, the OG Intervention could return as well. I know we have the MW2 variant, which is usable in MW3, but I'm talking, you know, if they're going to bring back OG MW2 weapons in specific, the exact look and sounds and feel is what we want to see in terms of an old weapon, not something that is kind of similar, but not exactly that old weapon. So hopefully, again, like the Spaz 12, the Intervention, they return as is. I know for copyright reasons nowadays, they might have to change the name a little bit, but they could still make the weapon look and feel the same way it did back in the old games. So hopefully we get that very soon. Let me know down below what weapons you want to see return from old MW games. COD 4, MW2, and MW3 is obviously what they're looking at there. Let me know down below. Next here is pretty interesting. Someone says disbanding lobbies. I would love to play again with enemies and teammates. It would help also balance the system currently in place that disbands a lobby following a match. And Sledgehammer surprisingly responds and says, in a future game update, we'll be testing non-disbanding lobbies with a cohort of players to determine the performance of such a change. If these tests go well, we'll explore a rollout to all players. So the reason why this is crazy is because, you know, there are some theories about how skill-based matchmaking works and how if you have disbanding lobbies, it helps them, you know, actually make the skill-based matchmaking work properly. So you're always being placed into the, you know, most optimized lobby for your skill. But if there's no disbanding lobbies, then the skill-based matchmaking probably isn't going to work as well, because if you get into an easy lobby and you could stay in that easy lobby for a while, even though people back out, and that's just how it is, some new people, some better people might join, but overall the lobby might be pretty easy, skill-based matchmaking is just not going to work as well. So the reason why it's crazy is because obviously, you know, no developer or Activision themselves has ever mentioned or talked about skill-based matchmaking, and this is kind of like their first mention of it indirectly. So let me know down below. I think most people would want to see disbanding lobbies removed to some extent. Let me know down below your opinions on skill-based matchmaking as well. I mean, I know it's like a necessary evil, and if I'm a really bad player, I probably wouldn't want to play with super good players, but you know, for me back in the day, I was a bad player. I was always getting smoked in lobbies, and I learned to get pretty good. And now here in MW3, like, I'm a decent player, but I'm getting smoked in every single lobby I play. So I get why it's in place. I understand SBMM, but I definitely would like to see it toned down a little bit here, and having disbanding lobbies removed, at least for a test, I feel like might be a pretty good change. So let me know down below your opinions on that. This one here is pretty interesting. The biggest one, he says, what are you going to do about the Gaia skin and the problems it has brought forward to MW3 from MW2? So adjustments to Gaia and the Gaia Blackcell operator skins are in the pipeline for MW3, and a future game update will disable this item until said changes can be released to all players, which is crazy because people have been complaining about the skin for a while now. It's all I see in all my lobbies, and you know, the main thing is visibility issues, head glitches, just looking at the skin around the map, across the map. It's just kind of a crazy OP skin, almost like the new Rose skin, if you guys remember that from MW19 and Warzone. So that's a pretty good change overall. You know, balancing that is definitely going to be good to see. Next here, have you considered enabling streak looping? It's an option in private games, so it shouldn't be a big deal to enable it in public playlists. I think it should be rewarded if someone is able to stay on a long streak. Having to die to get another UAV, for example, feels so outdated. There was a reason we left it behind after COD 4. So again, I completely agree there. This was a classic feature that we just got enabled recently. Not being able to loop your streaks is just so unfortunate, and Sledgehammer actually says this is something that the team definitely wants to try. One of the cool things about our experimental playlist is that they give us a chance to see how things work out in the wild. Expect to see something like this in a future experimental playlist, and make sure to share your feedback in the survey we place in the message of the day. So this again should be a standard for every new Call of Duty, but at least Sledgehammer is mentioning that they kind of want it maybe, and they're going to put it into the experimental playlist to test it out and see if it works. Now, I don't see why anyone would be against this, honestly. Let me know down below if you are, you don't like streak looping. I mean, you have the right to have that opinion. I just think that being able to get your streaks multiple times over in a single life should be the way it is, honestly. That's how it was before. But let me know down below if you disagree with me on that. Next here, would it be possible to give us back the Blitz mode? It felt like I was given more variety in players and much less strict matchmaking within SBMM and EOMM. So crazy that they're responding to this again, honestly, because usually if there's any mention of SBMM, they don't respond at all. Sledgehammer says a 10v10 mosh pit playlist is currently scheduled. Who knows? Maybe we could fit even more than 20 players on a 6v6 map. So they kind of ignore the SBMM stuff, but they are saying that, you know, maybe we'll have a crazy, you know, 16v16 type of mode playlist on 6v6 maps, just super hectic. I think they're open to it. I mean, the feedback is insane here, honestly, so definitely cool to see. Next here, a similar question. Are there any plans on bringing back combat pacing from Vanguard? It was an addition I felt was very welcome to the COD series, and I think it could make players happy. And thanks for actively listening to the community and trying to improve the game. It has the best MP I've experienced in years. The active communication is super refreshing, and I hope this could become the norm for future titles, which I completely agree with here. Sledgehammer says, we love to hear from players who enjoyed combat pacing in Vanguard. While there isn't a plan to bring that exact system forward, we are planning to experiment with intensity. Since some of the maps have a lot of play space, we expect the upcoming 10v10 playlist to scratch that combat pacing itch. So that's what I said as well, actually, from Vanguard. One of my favorite parts of that game was the combat pacing. Even though it didn't work that well, sometimes you kind of just got placed in any lobby they gave you. The idea of being able to play 12v12, 10v10, 16v16 on all types of maps just to make the pace faster or slower depending on what you were in the mood for, I thought was really cool. So 10v10 is kind of like that, obviously, and then if they do in the future, you know, 12v12, 16v16, you're gonna have a similar vibe there, but combat pacing exactly how it worked is probably not returning, as they say. Someone says, can you fix the packet burst issue? We're always pursuing improvement and optimization for an issue like packet burst. It can manifest itself differently depending on the map or mode you're playing. For example, vehicles on ground war invasion maps require a different level of optimization than 6v6. We will continue to prioritize improvements in this area and are proud of the work we have done to launch with remarkably low crash rates. So again, as I said in a previous video, apparently this game has super low crash rates, which is good, but there's definitely still been a lot of packet burst issues, just minor delays in the connection. Not a big deal, honestly, but it's still something that is kind of annoying, and hopefully they fix very soon. And finally here, will any MW2 2009 DLC maps be added to MW3? Carnival, Storm, Trailer Park, Fuel. Sledgehammer unfortunately says there's no plans for these specific maps to return at this time. Our seasonal updates will be largely made of all new maps. So they do say largely made of all new maps, which is good, but it's showing us that not all of the maps will be new. So what remakes will we receive? Obviously, if we're not getting the OG MW2 DLC maps, would still love to see the MW3 maps, but I don't know, man. The OG MW2 maps were pretty cool. Just to run through some of them here again, we have Fuel, Trailer Park, Storm, Salvage, Bailout, Carnival, and then we had COD 4 maps, Vacant, Strike, Overgrown, Crash, like all pretty cool maps. So having all of those in this game, I feel like would still be pretty sick overall. And again, if we don't get them, it's not a big deal, but I feel like it would be pretty cool. So let me know down below your opinions on that, what maps you want to see remade in this game. And they go through a bunch of stuff here, responding to people's comments about different fixes, different balancing issues and stuff. But one last one here I do want to mention. Kind of sucks, there's no plans for custom reticles at this time, which does kind of suck. I mean, that would have been pretty cool to have in the game, but it is what it is. And overall, I mean, if you go to the Reddit post there where Sledgehammer did their AMA today, there's a lot of great comments, a lot of great responses from Sledgehammer. So hopefully we see this every couple months, maybe before every major update every season. It's super cool to see Sledgehammer interacting as much as they have been with the community. Hopefully that continues, and hopefully other studios can do this as well. So let me know down below your opinions on all these upcoming updates here. Be sure to subscribe for more COD update videos like this. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.